just picked up this 1968 Porsche 912 tangerine. Sort of matches this burnt hat that I'm wearing. In order to start this story, I'm going to go ahead and rewind about a week and a half. I left a $1,000 deposit. I looked at this car at night a few nights ago, and I'm coming back to get the car. A little nervous. This is a survivor car. Hopefully I'm not making a mistake here. I think this is a pretty cool car. Everyone, for the most part, has made a decision and then they have regretted it. You know, it's like you buy that, you know, flight to somewhere you shouldn't have or whatever. Well, I left this deposit right when I left this guy's house, and I have been losing sleep the last couple days thinking, I don't need another car. Why am I buying this? And I'm pulling up right now, and at first look, I'm like, okay, it looks good. That looks pretty cool. So wait, what does it say?
It's an official document. It identifies the legal owner.
Okay. So the guy sent me a picture of the title. You know, and in the 1960s, the titles looked a lot different than now. I'm trying to do my due diligence in order to make sure that it's legit. I'm gonna check right now that the numbers on the on this title looking thing, it says certificate of ownership. But I'm just gonna obviously check that the numbers match. I'm buying the car from the grandson of the person who owned this. He passed away. The car was parked in 1980, and you know, and is everything that I looked at the other night pointed to that being the case, that being true. I believe this story. A lot of times when you hear these stories of a survivor car or this or that, you end up showing up and, you know, it does have rust when they said it didn't, or oh, I never looked there, or, you know, the story usually changes. I've found that so many times. And I'm not one of these guys, I don't go look at cars all the time, but just over the years of buying stuff, I've had that happen a number of times where I show up and it's just, the story just is not reality. How are you? Yeah, I'm just gonna look at it real quick in the light. Oh, you got it. Okay. Yeah, nice, man.
You selling that one too?
He wants your Cobra.
Good.
Thumbs up.
So okay, we just bought the Cobra. Just kidding.
Should have bought the Cobra.
Is that window working, huh?
Yeah, this window works perfect. It's really cool.
Dude, you just bought a 912.
I know. It's crazy.
How you feeling right now?
Mixed emotions. Happy and
I think you made the worst decision of your life.
look at the headliner. It's pretty. Dude, it's there.
It's there.
It's there. It's square.
Damn. This is a pretty clean car.
Get some airflow in there, man. Wish this one would roll down more. It's just, oh, there we go. Ooh, just gave it a little bump and the thing was stuck. Look at that.
Nice.
This is one of the big reasons why I bought this car. Look at how the door, watch how it's like, go right here. Look how this door closes, watch. Like, money. No weird, that closes so nice. The floor gaps are really good.
Those factory mirrors too?
I don't think this is factory.
They look.
No.
So they only came with one mirror?
Yeah, 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Which, doesn't that look cool? It looks like really...
Then I would think that is the factory one. I don't think you would have swapped it. Why?
No, it's easy to swap. It's 2 bolts. It's not factory.
They didn't look like that?
I mean...
I just don't see why you would change one. It's not like a car that he...
This was like a little bit more of a racy style. It's actually a pretty cool gear.
I guess, maybe. I guess he did have the decal, so maybe he did do a couple things.
He did a couple things, you know. He added the... I love it. It's so straight, it's so square, but it's kind of effed up, you know? It's good. Great. I'm really excited. Stop looking at me, Swan. my age. He's in his early 30s. Essentially, I dealt with the son-in-law of the original owner of this car.
He wasn't super into the car with because of the relationship.
He wasn't.
I don't think his relationship.
Good point.
Kept him close to the car at all. He didn't care. He didn't even care that he drove the car.
He made the comment
in the 80s. He drove. He goes, I drove this car, but he didn't care.
He said I was the one who parked the car in the garage.
Which is, I'm like, that's pretty sick. Like,
it's pretty cool.
Damn, you drove it in there last, and he was like, yeah, but we didn't get along. So
yeah. So he made the comment a couple of times that he was like, hey, he was a nice man. I respected him because it was my wife's, father, but we didn't really get along that great.
So there was no connect to that car.
Yeah. So I don't think he didn't really have any kind of love for it.
He did.
Yes, the car made it. Gonna go ahead and get it back to the little shop and check it out, clean it up a little, and start kind of getting after it. All right, this thing is too cool, man. I was kind of sweating a few things while we were there, like the wheels got, obviously this had a little bit of water sitting, but the other, the wheels look pretty good overall. The side marker lights are not great. It's got kind of this purple, I don't know what got dripped on it, but you can kind of see some little purple stuff. But all in all, man, Andrew said he found a dent. I couldn't even find one. This looks like that was a little something. There's a little something there.
What is this? Like a dead bug?
Yeah, just like a dead bug or something. But all right, I'm gonna push it back there. This is an original black plate. It's got the front and rear plates, which I believe is pretty hard to come by. I can't wait to take this bumper off and put the original bumper back on it. There's a little time capsule. One of the things that really blew me away about this car is the condition of the dash. This thing is it's just dirt. It's just dirty, But the radio is just, this thing feels really mint. The way that this thing shifts and just feels, it just felt very new to me, it just felt really new. So this is showing 34,000 miles, and it's it's difficult to really say for sure mileage on these. I don't know. The visors, oh, you know what, I didn't even check the visors. Okay, I know this is, oh man, I didn't really even check the mirror. There's little things. It's so easy to overlook things, out of just excitement. I don't know if that'll clean up, but dude, the visors look like they're in great shape. Funny, that one's got a mirror and this one doesn't. This is a cool wheel. Look at the patina on it. This thing is awesome. I'm just gonna clean the windows. Okay, so it's a retention, I see. It just retracts back when you let go. I was wondering how that should be an easy fix. Okay, so the previous owner's name was Duffy. Look at that. These are Duffy's old Ray-Bans. That's pretty cool. This car is so cool to me and so special because it just survived, that's just how does that happen? 1980. It is 2022. It's 42 years this thing was really not driven and sitting in a garage. But the shifter feels so good. A lot of times you get these old cars and the e-brake doesn't work. This thing is, it feels perfect. The brakes really work on the car. They're not locked up. I wonder if the seat belts. Let's see. These old school lap belts. Look at that thing, man. What the heck? This is so cool. Okay, let's see if this, ooh, that's a tight squeeze. Does that work? How do you do that? Oh, you go in? No. Oh yeah. Dude, it needs a little grease for the tracks. The clutch has got a really good feel to it. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, no, that's locked. This should, look at that, man. It just needs a bath. bulbs, probably fuses, I'd bet, in here. Look at the carpet, man. It looks great. I'm not sure yet. Look at how clean the glass is already. It's cleaning up. When I came back from the bank and this car was, you know, paid for, I instantly put a towel over the windshield and over the windows where the sun was beating on it. And the son-in-law was there, and he kind of chuckled, and he was like, wow, you're gonna take good care of this car. And I said, yeah, I am. I just hated that this car was sitting out in the sun. You know, it had been in the garage all those years. I've driven a 912 once, maybe twice, and they are very well balanced. They drive really great. It's a really cool thing to be in here right now doing this. This is a really cool experience for me. Just getting to clean this thing and kind of like figure it out. All right, I found a couple of cool things. Kept asking the guy for the toolkit, and he wasn't sure. He said he looked for it. He's like, I don't know. Now this is a tool, so I'm like hoping that as I go through it and start cleaning, that I, you know, and digging, that I find most of the toolkit, hopefully all of it. Let's see what's in here. Oh, okay. I've got a 911 badge. All right. It's not a 911. Maybe he replaced the front bumper. Maybe he was, you know, thinking, hey, I can make my car look like a 911. All right, you guys. I asked him a bunch of times if they had the lettering, the badges, and he said, I don't think we have it. And here it is. This is a really cool moment. So they're black. Somebody must have painted it, because I believe it should be that color. Let's see if it spells out. So here's how it looked. They did put rags down in the carburetors. There's a rag going into here. And someone even put a little piece of tape on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this thing out. All right, here's the state of the front. So I took the air boxes off. This thing just might fire up without much at all. It might fire up, huh, dude? Yeah. I got my little helper here with me, little Roman. Okay, gonna check oil. Look at this. That thing's got a proper amount of oil and it looks clean. This thing. I'm gonna check the fuel really quick and see if there's if it looks clean, and if it is, I might put some gas in it and run the car. Okay, at this point, I'm very confident this car is gonna just fire up. Now, whether or not it runs good or there was an issue when it was parked, I have no clue. But what I'm gonna do right now is just... You have gas? So I'm gonna... You got 91 too, huh? Oh yeah, she's gonna run good. I just cleaned...
drive this to the store.
Dude, I told Roman, I said, dude, we might take this to dinner tonight. We might take this to dinner. I swear, there's a belt that he could go in the back with a booster. There's so I'm gonna pull the fuel level sender.
All right, well, let's get these bolts out.
Let's get these bolts out.
Dude, I think there's a mouse in there.
No, there's not. In fact, you know what? Now that you said that, look, that's a great thing to show. Those smuggler boxes, there's always mice. You probably need a light.
No, it's good.
You can see it in there. Oh, dude, it looks perfect. It's just dusty. It's amazing. And look at this line.
Hey, for 40 years, that gas.
It looks like whiskey, but it's pretty clear. It's not.
How did it taste? I know you got a little taste of it.
It tastes like that scotch you keep trying to get me to drink, and you think it's good.
Is that good or bad though?
That means it sucks.
And then the guy did tell you, you know, that the guy said we literally drove it into the garage. I mean, it doesn't sound like they started working on it or wrenching it or.
And his story is that the owner of this car was getting surgery, and he had some injuries, and that's why he couldn't drive the car anymore.
Or work on it or anything.
So that's why the son-in-law drove it into the garage in 1980.
Wow. Like you said, we'll mix up some good fuel in there, and then it'll clear. You just change the fuel filters as soon as after you run it a little bit, you know.
It's not gonna fire up tonight because I just remembered that I don't have a key. I don't wanna go trying to hotwire the car or anything, so I'm gonna call it for the day. Having the car here in the shop, and I've had some time to go over it a little bit and learn as much as I can about the car. I believe this is a story of a car that was loved by the original owner and enjoyed. He was no longer able to drive the car. It sat for a really long time, but he didn't want to sell it. Consequently, the family members who inherited the car didn't love it the same. Seems that they had a bit of an estranged relationship, so the car just was neglected because of that. And so I think that's why there's some of the issues that the car has. That's why the paint looks the way that it does. I think Duffy passed away a couple years ago, and the car started getting pushed around outside of the garage it had been sitting in for, somewhere around 40 years. So that's why this car is a little confused to me, because you look at parts of the car and it's like, this thing is just in incredible condition. The undercoating, the interior, and how well the panels are. The car seems to have never been in an accident or anything like that, and it's just a really good solid car. There's a few little areas, but then you've got the paint that looks like it's been sitting outside for a pretty long time, and so I think that that's probably what happened. I'm sure that the paint had some fading in the time that Duffy was driving the car. Went from 68 up until right around 1980, so 12 years. I'm guessing that he probably put 130,000 miles on the car. It shows 34,000, and that's the best guess I can make based on the condition of the car, everything that I'm seeing. So he used it. I don't think it's a 30,000 mile car. I think it's probably 130, but you never know. It could be 230. Nonetheless, it's mine. I honestly feel a really great connection with this car. I feel that, it's sort of like it was loved and then unloved, and now it's going to be loved again. In a future video here soon, I'll show you guys already what I've been doing to bring this car back to life, and I'm really excited. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, consider subscribing to the channel. I mostly post about Porsches. I sometimes will do vlog videos that are kind of like a little different style, but generally the content is Porsche. I had a couple guys get all bent out of shape and tell me, oh, you blew it because you didn't do a Porsche video. It's like, I'm not going to be pigeonholed into this only. I love motorcycles. I love doing different things. But generally, I'm doing these videos on Porsches. So if you like that, awesome. If you don't, oh well. And I will see you in a future video.